There was something of a shocking twist of fate in regards to Wolfenstein's legacy coming into gaming's 7th generation. Having fallen behind after helping popularize the first-person shooting genre decades ago, Wolfenstein: The New Order produced an experience that reminded everyone that sometimes the old dog has some great tricks. The sequel, The New Colossus, was too critically acclaimed, but not universally accepted from a gameplay perspective. Rather than strictly fixing what barely went wrong with The New Colossus, the joint work of Machine Games, Arcane Studios, and Bethesda decided to innovate not in regards to the genre, but the Wolfenstein franchise. At a reduced price, Youngblood promised to offer the same gameplay that made the previous game so fun, while adding the option of letting friends work together in a pseudo-open world environment. Having mostly enjoyed The New Order and The New Colossus, I was excited to see if this budget title could match or maybe outdo its predecessors, even on a smaller scale. Unlike previous Wolfenstein games, Youngblood allows the player to take control of BJ Blazkowicz's daughters, Jess and Soph, with the other being controlled by either a human player or the AI. Through various areas spread across a Nazi-controlled Paris, the twin sisters have to find a way to save their dad, who has suddenly disappeared, with the only clue being that he headed to the City of Light. With this being a budget title, it's not surprising that the story and its main missions aren't too lengthy, with it lasting barely 10 hours. By adding a leveling system, completing some story missions won't be available to the player due to tougher adversaries that will force the player to take part in rather mundane side quests and sudden requests, with the latter being usually nothing more than a quick trek to plant a bomb in some random car or the like. The side quests issued out by the multiple characters making up the game's overall hub area are just as forgettable as a majority of every other mission in the game, with side quests usually resulting in fetch quests, with no remarkable character interactions or even cutscenes like in The New Colossus. There are also great amounts of collectibles, ranging from cassette tapes to 3D glasses, that are used as this game's version of a model viewer. After realizing how uninspired the side quests are, and a majority of the trophies being grind heavy, usually connected to killing enemies or upgrading a weapon, my main focus was to complete the story, play some co-op, and destroy any destructible doors I came across late in the game for all that wonderful loot. A goal I completed in almost 15 hours that would have been a lot shorter if not for the necessary side quest grinding and terrible checkpoint system. The adventures of Soph and Jess are that of sisters trained for war and having the laughing style of stereotypical backwoods rednecks. Thanks to their mutual best friend Abby, the twins set a course for Paris where they have to shoot, jump, and cloak their way through a Nazi-controlled battlefield while combing through Paris' sewer systems and catacombs. Thankfully, the gunplay is mostly the same as recent iterations, though noticeably slower to adjust to the co-op action. Both characters are given a small assortment of weapons to use that can be slightly upgraded with silver coins that are attained by opening boxes and slaughtering enemies. But even at a base level, a majority of the weapons work incredibly well against lower level enemies, sound and look great, complementing the prototypical corridor gunplay sections of Youngblood that feature respawning enemies are more open environments that look incredibly nice and work well due to multiple areas of cover, and aggressive enemies who will come in droves if the alarm system is set off because of the player not being stealthy. Then there are skills that both require points to unlock as well as the characters needing to be at certain levels to open up the deeper branches. These skills are broken down into 3 categories: mind, muscle, and power, with the stereotypical upgrades being available, including better health and armor. Other abilities include things like picking up heavy weapons dropped by enemies, or extending the time limit and cooldown of the cloaking skills that make stealthy takedowns a lot easier. Unfortunately, without a lot of side mission grinding, there's no way the player can max out a character's skill tree, resulting in planning ahead by the player in regards to how they want their character to thrive. Sadly, someone trying to focus on a stealthy playthrough can't because of the co-op addition to the overall gameplay. Co-op is not bad at all when a player is able to team up with another human. Players can join or host a session for random strangers or a specific friend. Jumping in and out of human co-op play actually allows the second player to retain the progress gained in the multiplayer for their single-player experience. There is the Buddy Pass in the Deluxe Edition that allows one gamer to buy the game and invite another potential player, without the other having to buy the game as well. Buddy Pass invited gamers though do not gain trophies or achievements. Ally AI is both exceptional and disheartening. Whatever sister the AI is controlling will definitely step up and fight as hard as possible in the middle of a firefight, chucking grenades and throwing up hand or pep signals that gives the player's character temporary boost, like more health. Unfortunately, those are the only positives in regards to the Ally AI. With this co-op experience comes the addition of shared lives. Upon finding specific boxes around Paris, the sisters gain up to 3 shared lives that allows for a moment in the heat of battle where both sisters are too hurt to continue can be revived for another round of action. If only one sister is hurt, the other can heal them to avoid wasting a shared life. Sadly, the Ally AI will at times completely bug out and refuse to heal the player's downed character, using up a shared life or even causing a game over if all the shared lives are gone. There will be many an unwarranted game over because of the Ally AI's stupidity, a problem made even worse by the fact Youngblood features a horrendous checkpoint system. When moving to different areas, especially during the main mission, a cassette tape will appear on the screen to give a false sense of security that the player has reached a checkpoint. Dying during a boss battle other than the final will send the players back to the beginning of the mission with the same amount of ammo the sisters had when they died. This is a terrible implementation that punishes the gamer for no reason other than artificial difficulty. Another bad gameplay decision choice is the addition of character levels in this game. While gaining experience points to upgrade skills is one thing, adding numerical levels to enemies is nothing short of frustrating. With the developers promising players would have the ability to take on missions as they saw fit, certain sections are blocked off by adversaries who could be 1, 2, or even 10 levels higher. These slightly higher level enemies become bullet sponges to the point of being nearly impossible to kill, even if the player has pulled off a clean headshot. To make matters worse is the addition of armored enemies only being damaged by certain ammo, as indicated by the small icons alongside their health bar, which means what should be the player's most effective weapon against a giant mech may not be an assault rifle, but the introductory pistol that barely does any damage overall. With ammo being only attainable by fallen enemies and sitting on crates, trying to follow the rules of whittling down armor may not work to the player's benefit, forcing the player to utilize ineffective ammo for chip damage. These limiting factors and unnecessary leveling and badly designed enemy armor systems definitely hurt the overall fun in regards to what made the series enjoyable. There are a lot more flaws associated with Youngblood, including the terrible stealth system. While being able to cloak and become lucid for a short time does help complete a takedown, the Ally AI can be identified by enemies and completely ruin the potential stealth run. For some reason, there is no ability to pause, even in the single player, where the game is closed to people joining. There is also no overview map the player can pull up when moving around various areas, with the player having to rely solely on the bland minimap. Technical issues were few and far between, but definitely noticeable, including frame rate drops, graphical inconsistencies, and audio issues, such as out-of-sync cutscenes. The story is mostly non-existent, outside of the opening cinematic, some short cutscenes to provide information dumps, and an underwhelming finale. There are also microtransactions, as of now mostly being associated with weapon and character skins. XP boosters reinforce the unnecessary usage of a leveling system as well. The core gameplay of Wolfenstein from these past 2 generations mostly remains here when the bullets start flying, but implementations such as level and armor systems make the overall gameplay loop annoying instead of immersive. This proves to be a mediocre first-person shooter that is made worse by being associated with a classic gaming franchise. Youngblood shouldn't exist. For all its intent to innovate, provide a chance for friends to enjoy a Wolfenstein game together, and place some potential new leads going forward with the franchise, Youngblood has so many systems that hurt the overall enjoyment, including unwanted armor and leveling systems. Add that to the fact there is a poor checkpoint system, the ally AI is inconsistent in regards to being helpful, and the story is forgettable. With a rather short campaign hinged on level grinding being the only reason to spend more time with the game than necessary, there's no reason this game is anything more than a rental. For those who have the patience, wait until this game inevitably becomes a PlayStation Plus or Xbox Games for Gold offering in the next 6 months. That is unless you like watching twin sisters bro out at any given moment.
It's you. Well done.
Y'all alright here?
Wow, good for you, Kenneth. I was beginning to think you lacked that killer instinct.
Screw you, Arthur.
Girls, you be nice to each other. Now, come on.
What? It's a compliment.
Shut up. You guys are weird.
You are Kenneth? I think I'm fine. Oh my god. Oh my god, I got his brains in my mouth. Water, give me water.